Let's jump back into the 1970s, the decade when crochet exploded, and at the center of it all, the granny square, simple, versatile, and suddenly everywhere. Blankets, tops, dresses, capes, hats. Crochet wasn't just a hobby anymore. It was fashion. It was culture. The 1970s were a time of change. Fast fashion was rising. Stores were full of cheap, mass-produced clothes, and people started to push back. Crochet became the antidote, a way to slow down, a way to make something by hand, something no one else had. Fast forward to today. Sound familiar? We're in the same place. Fashion is faster than ever. Clothes are mass-produced, worn a few times, and thrown away. And once again, people are craving something different. Crochet answers that. It's personal. It's sustainable. It's creative. Just like in the 70s, picking up a hook today means making your own statement, not mass-produced, not disposable, but meaningful. That's why crochet is taking off again. It's not just craft, it's culture, then and now. The colors of the 70s, you can spot them instantly. Earthy tones ruled, browns, mustards, burnt oranges. But then they were paired with brights, hot pinks, vibrant purples, neon greens. Designers weren't afraid to clash shades. A square could be chocolate brown on the outside, neon orange inside, and hot pink in the middle. It shouldn't have worked, but it did. This was crochet with energy, with optimism, and the yarn, mostly acrylic, cheap, colorful, durable. That's why so many granny square blankets from the 70s still survive today. Granny squares weren't stuck on couches anymore. They were walking down the street, dresses stitched from hundreds of tiny squares, vests layered over turtlenecks, ponchos that swung with every step, maxi skirts, jackets, even coats, accessories too, hats, bags, scarves, belts. If you could stitch a square, you could stitch a look. It was everyday fashion, but it also hit the spotlight. Celebrities wore it, magazines featured it, festivals overflowed with it. Crochet wasn't background, it was front and center, a statement piece, a lifestyle. Crochet blended perfectly with the hippie and bohemian scene. Handmade meant authentic. It meant free from rules. Festival goers wore crochet halter tops, patchwork skirts, long flowing capes. It was carefree. It was artistic. It was deeply personal. And it went further than fashion. Crochet entered art. It became political. Women reclaimed the craft, something once dismissed as domestic, and turned it into a symbol of creativity and strength. Every stitch said, "This is mine. This is freedom." Crochet wasn't just about keeping warm. It was about being seen, being heard, and being unapologetically different. So as you see these granny square styles roll by, remember what they meant in the 70s. They weren't just patterns. They were self-expression. They were independence. They were optimism stitched into yarn. The granny square may have been around for decades, but in the 1970s, it became iconic. Bold colors, fearless creativity, fashion that celebrated individuality. That's the spirit of crochet in the 1970s, and why it's thriving again today.